Hey, good morning. Happy Sunday. Thank you for watching another one of my videos, for giving me another chance. This is the video that I promised yesterday that I was gonna put out, answering a couple questions that I got in some of my previous videos. So I wanted to address that and then talk a little bit about yesterday's visit, and that's pretty much it. I'm glad my channel is doing pretty well, so I'm proud of myself, that at least, I'm getting views and people are interacting, whether it's positive or negative. At least it's something. It's better than nothing, so I'm grateful for that. So yesterday's visit, everything was fine. I was already expecting, for some reason, I don't know, for some reason I was feeling like they were going to bring out the dogs again and pull me again, and that's exactly what happened. But this time I was prepared. I knew where they were coming out of, so, but at least this time they had a female officer there too. They had a different correctional officer, but the same dog and a female correctional officer. So she told us to come in. This time they checked the kids with me in the room. They put us all in a line. They had the dog come around all of us to smell us. Everything went fine. They told the kids to go outside. Now when they told the kids to go outside and leave me in the room, I was already like starting to go into like a little bit of a panic mode, like, oh my God, here we go again. They're gonna try to see if they're gonna try to see if I have drugs on me, or accuse me of having something that I don't have, or whatever. The same shit that they did to me last weekend. So, but anyways, they left me alone in the room, and he had the dog go around me again, smelled the bag, the bag where I keep the money in, and all of that, and everything went fine. At least this time, without me saying anything, the officer was like, "You got dogs, don't you?" And I'm like, yeah, I got dogs. And he's like, "Okay, well, you're fine. You can have a good visit. Have a nice day." So it was short, quick, but still, I was like, when they told the kids to go out, I'm like, oh, here we go again. And just, after that happened last weekend, and speaking to my husband, and then my husband talking to the inmates in there, word got around that before that happened to me earlier that day, 6 other people had gotten busted for bringing in. So that's why they were going really, really hard, because mind you, the whole time that I've been going there to visit him, I have never been searched for drugs or anything. Never went through a procedure like that, never. But last weekend they were going crazy, and I guess that's why, because 6 people before me got busted for drugs. So they figured, hey, even though the dogs, oh, and that's another thing too. I noticed that the dog's behavior was exactly the same as last weekend. And my husband was telling me they were just bluffing with you. They were just trying to see if you could admit to something, or, you know what I mean? Because the dog didn't do nothing. You don't have anything. So the dog didn't signal him for anything. He was just lying to you to see if there's, if you can give out information or whatever, because he was asking me if he had asked me to bring drugs previously, or which dorm he's in, and asking me too many questions that really had nothing to do with nothing. But he was just trying to like fish for information, and information that I don't have, you know what I mean? Because that's not us. Yeah, my husband got arrested for what he got arrested for. He's got a past or whatever. But that doesn't mean that he's gonna go in there and do the same thing. You know what I mean? He wants to get out. We want him to get out. So his mind is focused on just doing, laying low, behave. He's got no need. He's got absolutely no need to sell drugs in there or anything like that, because I got him. That's what I work for, and if the shoe was in the other foot, he'd do the same for me, hands down. I got no doubts about that. You know, I've been with this man for when he started doing his bid, we were together for 11 years at that point. And now we've been together for 14 years. Come on. Like, yo, I know he would do the same for me as I am doing for him. So he's got no need for that. There's always money in his books, money on the phone. He's always had his essentials for what he needs, never. So there's no need for him to be doing things on the side for extra cash. He don't need to be helping me out. There's no, all I want him to focus on is for him to do what he's got to do to, you know, control his anger and just focus on behaving and following the rules, doing the programs that he's supposed to do that are mandatory in order for him to get released. And that's it. And come home to us. That's it. So there's no need for all that extra bullshit. You know what I mean? You know, you can't be judging people just because of, you know, what they got, what's on paper, that's who they are going to continue to do. You know, a lot of people are stupid. Obviously, the people are stupid that still do the same shit in there, but that's not my husband. That's not us. So, you know, just change the subject a little bit or get away from that, because I've already talked about this in the previous video. But after that, you know, the visit went fine. We had we were there for about like a couple hours, and then we left. Everything was fine. But okay, now switching gears, I got a few questions here. I wrote them down so that I don't forget. The first one is, how did he get in prison? Well, there's no other way to say this, but just to say it, somebody somebody out there told them that we had kilos of cocaine, heroin in the house, and that we were growing marijuana. And for some reason, you know, that's how they raided our house. As far as, you know what I mean, like, he's not trying to tell me too much, but basically that's what he's telling me, that, you know, somebody out there said that he had drugs, and that's why they came in the house. And just to give a little backstory, my husband was approved for a medical marijuana license because at that time in New York State, marijuana was illegal. So you needed to have a license in order to consume it. And only, you know, certain amounts had to be prescribed and blah, blah, blah. So he had a license. He's always had a love for cannabis, for growing and all that stuff. So he was growing some marijuana in the house for his personal use, because at that time, you know, he already had stopped being in the streets. So we wasn't bringing in the money we were bringing in. I was working and all that stuff. So things were getting hard, and he still needed his, you know, the marijuana. He still needed to consume it because he's clinically diagnosed bipolar. So he uses marijuana to control those impulses. And he was growing marijuana. So his actual charges are, I wrote it down here: attempt to criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree, class D, and then criminal possession of marijuana, second degree, class D. So that's where the criminal possession of marijuana comes in, because when they came in, they saw the marijuana. But it wasn't enough for anything. So, because obviously he was growing for his own personal use. So they just left it at criminal possession of marijuana. And then they gave him 2 years for that. And then the attempted criminal possession of a weapon. We had a legally registered AK-47 in the house. I'm not afraid to say it, but yeah, we had an AK-47 in the house. It was hidden, but you know, when they raid, they ransack everything, and they're gonna find it. Especially an AK-47, you can hide it, but I mean, you know, it's not something that's this small. You know what I mean? Yeah, eventually, if you look hard enough, you're gonna find it. So, you know, we had that for protection. You know, we've always had people, all of our lives, always wanting bad for us and stuff like that. So we felt the need to have a weapon in the house to protect us. So, you know, at first when we bought it, I was against it, but that's a long story in and of itself of when we acquired the gun. But it was legally registered, everything was okay. The only thing bad about it was that he was already a convicted felon. So if you don't know this, when you're already a convicted felon, you are not allowed to bear any weapons or be near any type of weapons. So when they raided the house, they found it. He turned himself in. He told them, you know, that it's all mine. It's my wife has nothing to do with it. My kids have nothing to do with it. It's all mine. He wouldn't let me take any charges. He's that much of a man. He knew that he was already a convicted felon and he was gonna do some serious time. But he would not. He refused it. I'm like, I'm the man of this house. I am the protector of this house. And if anybody's going to do time, it's going to be me. It's not going to be my wife. So he took those charges. And like I said, everything was legit with the gun. So, you know, that's why they just gave him the attempted criminal possession of a weapon in the second degree. And that's it. So they gave him the question after that was, how long will he be in prison for? And they gave him 5 years. 5 years for the gun and 2 years for the marijuana. But they are running it, I forgot what's the word for it, but they're running it together. Not consecutively, but, concurrent. So in total, he's going to do 5 years. Consecutive would have meant that he would have done the 5 years first for the gun, and then after the 5 years he would have to do 2 more years after that for the marijuana. But the lawyer got him to agree to do it concurrent. So yeah, I mean, just do 5 years and that's it. It's over and done with. So and then the next question is, am I from New York? Yes, I am from New York. I already said it earlier in this video. I am from New York. I'm not gonna specify yet what part of New York I'm in, because it's I'm still a little nervous about putting my life out there. But you know, for right now, you know, I will say that I'm from New York State, and I will put out there that my name is Sid, because I know I've done all these videos and I haven't formally introduced myself, but my name is Sid. But you can't blame me, you know what I mean? I'm new at this, and I don't know how well this channel is gonna do, and I just wanna, you know, just be careful. Tread the waters lightly and be careful about it, you know. And the next question is, are my kids my husband's kids? Yes, they are. My son, my 19-year-old son, he's actually my stepson. His mom lives in Florida, but we've had custody of him, full custody of him. Well, not legally in papers. We had temporary custody of him, but you know, it just turned out to be where his mom agreed without getting the courts involved for us to have him permanently permanently. So we've had him since he was 10, but now he's 19. So I'm taking care of my husband's son, but he's my son too, because I've been in this kid's life since he was 4. So, and then my daughter is mine and his, you know, child. Spanish is my first language, so that's why I'm kind of like stuttering a little bit, but yeah, but my daughter is his daughter too, you know. So yes, that's my baby daddy, and yes, those are his kids, and yes, I have no problems taking them to see him, but I'll address that a little bit later towards the end of the video. Okay. Let's see. Oh, actually, that's that's my last one. It wasn't even really a question. It was just a comment, and I thought it was cute, and I was already expecting it, because hello, it's social media. You know what I mean? Not everybody's gonna agree with you. Not everybody's gonna like you or whatever. You know what I mean? So I was already expecting it. But this comment I left it last because it was the best one. You know what I mean? But this person said, it was time to find a real man, that they would never bring kids to a prison. And I have to highly disagree that, because my husband is the definition of what a real man is. This man bought me the house that I'm currently living in right now, rent free, without having to pay for a mortgage. All I have to do is pay for the taxes. This man has done absolutely everything for me. Before all this happened, you know what I mean? Before he started doing his bid, he treats me like a queen. Like, I've never had to do nothing. Like, I've had to basically learn how to do things on my own after he started his bid, because this man did absolutely everything for me. I never had to lift a finger. He's a jack of all trades. He's a mechanic. He's a carpenter. He's an electrician. He's a tattoo artist. He knows how to cook the most delicious meals you have ever ate in your entire life. He cooks so good that when the guys in there find out how good he cooks with just what they got around, they want to hire him to cook for them, because he makes whatever you got tossed around, he could put it together and make it taste so good. Okay. He's a landscaper. For all the years that I've been with him, that I cannot find one thing that this man does not know how to do. It does not know how to do well. Like, this man is a legend. For those that know him, they know. And that's why he's had so much jealousy and so much hate thrown towards him. You know what I mean? Because he's never needed nobody. He is his own, you know what I mean? That's it. If we never ever needed something fixed, all he had to do was go buy the supplies, because he does it himself. You know what I mean? When we moved to this house after we purchased it, no one wanted to help us move. And the fridge, the stove, the washing machine, the dryer and all that, he lifted that himself. I tried to help, of course, but 95% of the strength came from him. The dressers, the mattresses, the king size mattresses upstairs, that man did it all himself. And God knows that I am not lying. The people that know him knows that that man is a true force to be reckoned with right there. Okay? Yes, he wasn't perfect in the beginning. Yes, it's like with every other relationship, you know what I mean? We had to get to know each other. We had to learn how to be respectful towards each other. Yes, he wasn't perfect. I wasn't perfect either. You know what I mean? But we grew to love each other, to respect each other. And, that man is loyal to me. Okay? And just like how I am to him. For everything he's done for me while he was out here all those years is why I'm doing what I'm doing for him right now. And I have no problems taking the kids to see him. You want to know why? Because I would never, ever, ever use that as an excuse to keep his kids away from him. Because his kids for him are a priority to him. And I would say they're more of a priority to him than I am. And I would never do that. And not only that, he's only in a medium security facility. So the visitation room there's no bars around. It's just a table with chairs. And they have a special section where there are big portraits of the walls, of SpongeBob, of Dora the Explorer. They have a TV where they're always playing Disney movies, and you can pick out, if you want to switch the movie, you can do that yourself. They have toys, a comfortable section for the kids to play. So it's very family oriented, comfortable. Like the kids don't, the kids don't feel like they're in jail, like they're visiting, like it's uncomfortable, you know what I mean? Yeah, he can't really like go in there and play with them and stuff like that. But I'd say it's a lot better than seeing, talking to him behind walls where there's police officers standing behind him and we can't touch him, we can't hug him or nothing like that. Yes, during the pandemic when it first started, after they allowed visits again, we weren't able to hug or kiss. But now everything's back to normal again. So we're allowed to hug him, kiss him. He's allowed to like play, they have little board games where we could play with each other like that. Like it's very, like it's comfortable, you know what I mean? And even so, honestly, to be so 100% real with you, even if it was a situation where it had to be behind bars, I would still take my kids to go see him because I don't ever want to separate that bond. I don't ever want for him to know, for them to know that they're able to see each other, but they couldn't see each other or be around each other because I stopped that. You know what I mean? My kids know better than that. My kids know who their father is and they know what he's done for them. And it's just, it's a whole, like, I feel completely different about that. Like, I would never, ever use prison as a reason to separate my kids from their father. You know what I mean? Like that would destroy him. If I were to say, hey, I can't take them to go see you because, you're in jail, that would destroy him. Any little bit of strength he has, I could take it away from him just like that. If I just stop bringing the kids to go see him. Those are they are the reason, and I include myself in there. We are the reason why he's trying so hard to control himself, to behave, and to follow the rules so he can get out, without getting a write-up, without getting into fights. We are the reason. His kids are his priority, his number one reason. And if I take that away from him, I take any possibility that he has of getting out early. And I can't do that. I'm not gonna do that. That man does not deserve that. Those kids don't deserve that. They're happy every time they go see him. You know what I mean? That whole time when the pandemic started where we couldn't see him for 6-7 months, that was painful. That was very painful. And my daughter would not stop talking about, oh, I miss daddy, or I dreamt about daddy, or I wish I could see daddy. You know what I mean? That was one of the most hardest times we've had since this whole bit started. You know what I mean? Not being able to see him. And who cares about me? I don't care about me. I care about those kids. You know what I mean? I'm the nurturer, I'm the mother figure of the house, but he's the fun. He's the complete opposite. He's extroverted. He's just fun. He's just a fun character. And he's like, to them, he's like a walking, living cartoon character. You know what I mean? Like, he's a comedian. Like, to them, he's their world, and vice versa, and I just can't do that. I'm sorry. That's just not me. You know what I mean? And he deserves every bit of respect, loyalty that he's getting and that he will get for the rest of his life, just as long, as he does the same for me and continues to do the same for me, and the new car out the lot, the house that I live in, everything that I have is thanks to his 50% that he's put into this relationship. You know what I mean? So why can't I do the same for him? And to me, that is a real man. A real man does exactly that. He's done, dude, come on. Even if they gave him 10, 15, 20 years, I think I still hold that man down. I don't give up. I would still hold him down because he deserves that. He's that much of a real man for me. Then all these men out here that I see that be staying with women just so they can live in their house rent free and don't have to pay no bills and live off the women, you know what I mean? Men that can't fix a car, can't fix a flat, can't fucking lift the fridge, can't fucking lift, 2 boxes, you know what I mean? That can't do shit, can't cook, you know what I mean? For all these men out here that can barely do nothing, man, get the fuck out of here, man. I'm good. I got it. I got it. I'm good. You know what I mean? Like, the fuck out of here, man. Once you've had the best, that's it. There is nothing more than that. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. That's my husband, and I'm sticking to it. That doesn't mean you gotta believe the same thing I believe or do this. You know what I mean? But that's just the way I feel. You know what I mean? I feel like I got a real man. I got a real man, and he's not gonna be in there forever. He's already done 3. Like, let me give y'all the specifics. His earliest release date is April 9 of 2024, and if he starts fucking up in there or whatever, his max date is December 29 of 2024. So considering from where we started, he only got a little bit left to go. Only a little bit left to go. And I also believe in God, and I believe in miracles. And he might get out early, And now that's a question I got for y'all. If anybody's been in my situation or whatever, that's something that we argue about that I'm confused about. Like, my question to y'all is, if anybody can answer me, is, yeah, his earliest release date on paper is April 9th, but is there any chance he's able to get out earlier just by good behavior, or is that the earliest he can get out, April 9th? You know what I mean? Because I've heard stories of where, people got 5 and they get out in 2.5, 2 years, 3 years, you know what I mean? But, I know his crime is a violent crime, even though, nobody got hurt or whatever, but it was considered violent. And he says, well, those people that got out early, they're non-violent, but I'm violent, so they're going to make me stay till April 2024. But man, if anybody got any knowledge out there or know anything, like, if your man got 5 and he got out at 2.5 and he got hit with a violent crime, like, please let me know in the comment section, or if I'm wrong, if I'm wrong and he really does have to stay till April 9th, even with good behavior and no write-ups, no fights, nothing, the whole time he's been in there, if he really do gotta serve, stay there till April. It don't matter if he gotta stay in there till April. It don't matter. I'm gonna hold him down all the way down to the last breath in my lungs, that last beat of my heart. I'm gonna hold him down. But I think that's it for now. I think that's all I got for y'all right now. I think this has been the longest video that I've done, but I enjoyed it. I got some feelings out, while I was answering some of y'all questions. And if y'all got more questions for me, go ahead. If y'all got some comments, whether I've always said, even if they're negative, I'm willing to hear, you know what I mean? I ain't got no friends out here in the real world. Everybody's so like evil and mean. Even though you treat people with kindness and respect, people just treat you like you're beneath them, you know what I mean? And I see people nowadays, they're drawn more to people that don't respect them, that don't like them, that talk behind them more than people that are nice and do nothing to them. You know what I mean? Like, I see shit nowadays so twisted. That's why I stay to myself. I want to be more social. I want to have friends in the real life, but it's just been so hard. You know what I mean? It's been so hard because people nowadays, everything is so twisted, so backwards, you know what I mean? I'm not saying I'm perfect or nothing like that, but damn, I know I'm not the worst person out there, you know what I mean? And if y'all really live my day-to-day with me and be in my shoes, you will see what the hell I'm talking about. Like, I really don't, nobody really fuck with me like that, man. And I'm real, I'm talkative right now, but you know, in the real life, I'm real quiet. You know, I just, you know, at work, I do what I do. I smile at you. If you need my help, I help you and all that stuff. But it's like, it's weird, you know what I mean? It's weird. I know I'm not that bad. I know there's people worse than me out there. Mean. You know, I'm not mean, you know what I mean? But it's weird out there. But it's alright though. It's alright though. If people weren't different out there, this would be a really, really, really boring world. You know, we were all the same. So it's alright. That's why I'm trying this social media thing to see if it, you know, it does me any good, you know what I mean? If there are people out there, you know, outside of where I live that are, you know, like-minded like me, or, you know, or want to fuck with me, or, you know what I mean? So we'll see. But I thank you again for staying on as long as you did. I appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. Please subscribe, hit the like button, the dislike button. I'll take it all. And like I always say, you know, anything, any reaction is a good reaction to me, baby. Leave any comments or whatever y'all got to say. If anybody wants to answer my question, I really appreciate any insight y'all might got from me. But I think that's it. All right. I'll see you guys in the next video. God bless.